Good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you are having a fabulous weekend. Markets all-time highs. S&P 500 finally hitting a fresh new all-time high on a closing basis as well since February. Man, we've survived it all from tariffs to possibly World War III, Iran, Israel, India, Pakistan, Ukraine, Russia. There's so much going on. There's tons of noise out there. You name it. We're getting pounded left and right with headlines, Trump, tariffs, bills, you name it. It's all happening all at once. But you know what? The market, we're at lifetime highs. S&P's doing really well. NASDAQ also doing really well, also closing at all-time highs. The only ones that haven't closed at all-time highs is the Dow. Still has a fair ways to go. Dow seemingly at a resistance level here around the 539, 540 zone. Small caps, yeah, they're still struggling. Yeah, they got a long ways to go as far as that goes. You know what? Crude oil. You know, we mentioned wanting to watch crude oil, especially with the Iran situation, Trump dropping bombs on the nuclear sites at Fordow, and the other two, I can't remember how to pronounce them, so I'm not even going to try. But yeah, crude oil smacked back down. It is what it is. Had a nice little spike and then came right back down. No harm, no foul. VIX, volatility, the fear and greed, so to speak. Yeah, back down to the lows down at 16. The dollar, however, yeah, that one's possibly the most concerning thing. The dollar continues to fade on down. The dollar continues to weaken, and yeah, that might be something to definitely paying attention to. Yeah, we'll have to see and you know, the apparently to Fed Powell, the dollar is doing okay right now. So, but it is a effect of the current Treasury Department, you know, Secretary Bessent and his doing. So this is not something that the Fed deals with. This is something that Secretary Bessent has to deal with. So yeah, we'll try to get some more insight there as far as, you know, the weakening dollar. Obviously, not the best thing in the world, to be honest with you. You know, there was even comments in the Discord about, you know, this is, you know, the signals of a declining empire and so forth. And yeah, sure, we can read into all that. But you know what, as far as, you know, I'm concerned here, the market's at all-time highs. Yeah, let's get into it. And let's look at some of my charts that I'm looking at for the week ahead. We do have ourselves a short week. Markets are closing early on Thursday at 1 p.m. Let me stress that again. Markets are closing early at 1 p.m. and are going to be closed all day Friday for the July 4th holiday. So it is a very short week. But nonetheless, yeah, they wanted to give us tons of economic data this week. Monday's kind of slow. We got the Chicago PMI at 9:45, and then we got some Fed speakers. It is what it is on Monday. Tuesday, we have Chairman Powell speaking at the European Central Bank Forum on central banking. How exciting. I don't think he's going to give us any new insights, but it is worth paying attention to nonetheless. That is going to be starting right at the market open. How fun. But yeah, we'll pay attention to that. We also got plenty of jobs data this week, from the JOLTS to ADP and the non-farm employment change and the unemployment rate. This is going to be all these job readings, they're very important for the Fed. Steady employment, low inflation, and steady prices. So that's the key thing for the Fed. All these job reports are going to be important as we get into these summer months. We also got a few other important things, such as the ISM manufacturing PMI. But nonetheless, the main thing is going to be the jobs and Powell. So that's going to be the key thing. And then, like I said, Friday, the markets are closed, and we have ourselves a long weekend. To continue on that note, I'm going to be on vacation starting Thursday. So I'm going to be on vacation all through the holiday as well throughout next week. So don't expect a video next week. I'm not going to be here. So that's I'm going elsewhere. So there we go. But all right, here's what we're looking at. Fresh all-time highs. Now, what I've been preaching lately is we've called ourselves a nice move to the upside. We've pretty much nailed it across the board. Last week was a fantastic week throughout the Discord, not just on my end. Zach had a great week. Amar, Duke, everybody pretty much had a great lady, had a fantastic week as well. We're killing it. And we've had this nice run up. We're breaking out into fresh new all-time highs. And the question is, okay, well, how high can we go? And the question is, well, as high as it wants to. Really, this is clear blue skies for the market. Now, we want to continue to see a move to the upside, or at least a hold over these like 613, 614 levels, because we don't want to see a fake out. That would be bad news, especially at all-time highs. That would be pretty disastrous. So we don't want to see consecutive closes back under 613. We want this market to stay up and hold its ground. We want to see, of course, there's going to be some profit taking up here. That's just duh. We just don't want to see it collapse and let's say we move back to like the 590 or go back to 600. That would be incredibly annoying. That is not what the doctor wants. That's what, bears would love to see that. They would love to see this thing get shot back down and then we just come back and maybe even retest 480. That's something the bears want. The bulls definitely want to hold their ground. Now, we could, give some targets as far as like fib extensions and all that. I don't really want to focus on that because we've gotten everything so right these past week or so, past 2 weeks, you name it. We've done a fantastic job. Now's the time to be, let's play defense, continue to raise your stops on what you do have. Anything that's green right now should not be going red. All right? Raise your stops, trail your stops, do what you need to do. Always control what you can control, and that is your risk management. We can't control data. We can't control what Trump says in the next 10 minutes tomorrow. We can't control what Powell's going to say on Monday. We can't control none of that. Once we have our plays on the board, on the tape, that's all we can do. The next best thing that we can do is to manage our risk. Now, we can look for new ideas because the market is more susceptible to go to the upside, especially with the S&Ps, the NASDAQ. We can look at the industrials. Industrials look really strong. Materials look okay. Tech looks fantastic. Semiconductors look fantastic. We can look at all of them. Broadcom looks great. TSM looks good. NVIDIA is at new all-time highs. Not a semiconductor, but Microsoft is at new all-time highs. Netflix, all-time highs. Yeah, you name it. I mean, IBM looks fantastic. We can look to add in on to some new plays, such as, I don't know, Morgan Stanley's right there at fresh new all-time highs. A lot of these financial names, Citigroup looks very strong. TSM, like I said, had a nice close on Friday. Would love to see some continuation. Amazon had a fabulous close on Friday, which, as you already know, if you're in the Discord, I'm already long Amazon. So I'm looking to ride these things out. If I'm looking for ads, what I need to understand at this point, let's say, for instance, I'm looking to get into Interactive Brokers, which had a fairly decent close on Friday on good volume. I'm looking for a continuation to the upside. But because possibly we've had such a fantastic move this past week, if we get a pullback, I'm not going to be surprised by that. So we continue to play what is working until it's not working, So, that's kind of the point I'm getting at here. And yeah, I've already brought a few names up that I'm looking at, which is Interactive Brokers looks really good. Tapestry looks fantastic as well. We also got Shop, who continues to have this battle around this 113, 115 zone. If this thing breaks out to the upside, we could see a move to like 125, 120, give or take. These names still look pretty good. Now, what I'm not looking on doing is chasing. I'm not looking at chasing. For instance, Microsoft's had an incredible run. If you didn't get in down here at 475, I don't really want to buy it up here at 495, 500. I want to see this thing get a pullback, maybe test the trend line again, maybe retest the 80 MA, consolidate a little bit, and then go. For instance, let's look at Into, for instance. Look at this gap up on earnings. I don't really care to chase this. I want to see it consolidate like it has done and then go for it. Imagine if you got in right here at around the 773. You've just been chopped up, and especially if you got shorter dated contracts, yeah, you're probably hurting a little bit, and then you got that nice little move on Friday. You probably could have broke even at this point, but this right here to me is chasing. We wait for consolidation, where price moves or consolidates through time or consolidates through price. In this case, both. You had consolidation through price and time, and now it's looking like it's ready to break out again. Refuel the gas tank and then go. That's what some of the things that I look for as far as my plays go. For instance, we had Dash consolidation here. Boom, we broke out. We nailed all of our targets. 3R, essentially 132% on the cons. It was just a fantastic move. Snow, again, high and tight. Boom, breakout, easy peasy. But you kind of get the gist here. So short week, all in all. Keep that in mind, especially if you're playing weekly contracts. I strongly suggest that you don't play weekly contracts. Just play next week. Play it safe, especially if you're playing shorter dated. If you're swinging, I'm going to go ahead and argue, go ahead and start looking at August contracts or further. I'm not even looking at July's at this point because it's only about 18 days until expiry. Those contracts are going to theta decay really quick. A lot of my swing positions right now are August expiration, so I don't have to deal with all the craziness when it comes to theta decay as much, at least. But anyway, SPY's at all-time new highs. Congratulations, bulls. Remember, continue to trail your stops. If you're looking at ads, continue to ride the wave until the wave is broken. Losses are going to come. Remember that. Losses will come. We could get a rug pull any day now. Who knows when we get the pullback? I'm not in the prediction business. I'm in the managing my risk position. If I get into any new positions, great. I'm still going to have my stops, and I'm going to respect those stops. But at the same time, I'm not going to be surprised if we have a pullback. And if that knocks me out of any new positions, it is what it is. We've had a fantastic run. We've had some great wins. And yeah, now's the time to celebrate, but don't let your guard down. Don't get too excited and blow your account if you start to see a pullback. Always respect your stop loss. Play it safe. Like I said, short week. It could be low volume. We could get some volatility, especially with the jobs data. Just be mindful of what is going on in the macro picture, which is lots of jobs, lots of Trump, lots of Powell. Lots of noise. Tuning out and focus on your strategy and the tools that you use. All right, guys, that's going to be it for me. Y'all have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys.